Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Inclusion Matters podcast. Tonight, we're going to do a roundtable about Inclusion Pro Wrestling. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this in protest. The man of reason, welcome to the show. Crippled Messiah, fuck you.
What'd I do?
Crippled Messiah, you are an orange juice loving, pompous, ass, good for nothing, egotistical asshole.
I love you too, Heartbreaker.
But anyways, we need to start this off on a solemn note. So let me get my stuff up. So after that rant, and again, Crippled Messiah, I am doing this in protest.
The sad thing is, I don't even know what you're protesting.
We are going to take a 30-second break for a moment of silence for a Pacific Northwest legend, Thunder. And now we're back, and we'd like to thank our brand new sponsor, Crippled Messiah. Since you like to talk so much, would you like to thank them personally? Because I'm sure they're out there watching tonight.
Yes, but I forgot the paper, so...
It's La Jalapenos Taqueria in Longview, Washington, a proud sponsor of Inclusion Matters podcast and Inclusion Pro Wrestling. And they are also the home of our Hall of Fame dinner. So thank you, Los Jalapenos Taqueria in Longview, Washington, for being the proud restaurant of Inclusion Pro Wrestling's Hall of Fame. We thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it.
Now, moving on. No, I'm not going to tell you why I'm hot, but you should be able to figure it out.
Well, it'll be a while. I don't have my TV remote, so...
So let's get into this Thunder thing before we get going anymore. Crippled Messiah, talking forehead, man who sounds like paint's drying on the phone and on the podcast. You knew Thunder the best out of the three of us. Why don't you say a few words?
Yes. First of all, I want to apologize for how my voice sounds. I think I might be a little bit allergic to mangoes, which I had today without knowing. But getting back to Thunder. Thunder was a star right from the beginning. You hear all the time how people say when they go through a curtain, the whole vibe of the room changes in a wrestling form. Thunder made that happen. He, for a big man, could do a moonsault, which, if you didn't know, Thunder was about between 6'6" and 6'7". Thunder was part of the rock and roll tag team with Mr. 80 CC Poison, who at one point they wore a mask, which was very entertaining. And you can find that on YouTube just by looking up PMPW, and I recommend that. Thunder was the first ever PMPW heavyweight champion. He also teamed with Buff Bagwell when Buff Bagwell came to Milwaukee, Oregon, and the legendary Road Warrior Animal. And yes, in that match, Thunder played Hawk and did the clothesline part of the Doomsday device. But other than that, the Man Thunder was amazing. There'd be many a times where I would go to a PMPW show, and he would just sit and talk with me for a while afterwards about wrestling, about life, about what we were gonna do later. Um, after the show. And then there were times where we would meet up at the if WWE was in Portland, and we were at the Rose Garden or the Motor Center, whatever you want to call it, and Thunder would scour the line, knowing that the people that would come up to PMPW, being me and the 4 others that would go with me, and find us, and just stand in line with us and do the same thing that I just described. Thunder never got the just deserves that he deserved outside of the Pacific Northwest. I know for a fact that on multiple occasions he applied to be an enhancement talent or an extra on like the WWE shows when they would come to Portland and never got chosen. Shame on you, WWE, because you missed the boat. I don't know if there'll be another one like Thunder. I mean, for a man that size to have that charisma, that athleticism, and to really metaphorically and literally put a company on his back like he did with PMPW was amazing. And before I end this, I just want to say thank you, Thunder, for the memories. Much love, and thank you again.
And the man with paint drying has finally shut up. Good. Now we can get on to more somber news. With that sponsorship from Los Jalapenos Taqueria in Longview, Washington, we are ever closer now to getting our building funded and paid for our first show. So I am now 100% comfortable saying Inclusion Pro Wrestling coming to Longview, Washington at the Expo Center live November 25th. That's right. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Our Hall of Fame dinner will be Friday night, the 24th. $60 a plate. VIPs only, please. That comes with your ticket package for the show on Saturday. So it would be $60 for the VIP dinner. All VIP members are invited to come to the Hall of Fame dinner. Hall of Famers, we believe dinner will be on Mr. Crippled Messiah and the company that night. So thank you, Crippled Messiah, for paying for the Hall of Famers dinners. That is quite nice of you.
You're welcome, but you do realize that means I have to pay for my own dinner since I'm a Hall of Famer.
Well, about that.
What do you mean about that?
I can't have an orange juice loving Orange Cassidy freak in my Hall of Fame.
So what do you say?
So until Orange Cassidy loses the the championship that he has, the All Atlantic Championship, that's what it is. That's right.
The international championship.
The international, whatever you want to call it. You, sir, are out of the Hall of Fame.
I didn't do anything. Why am I out of the Hall of Fame?
Because you are the biggest Orange Cassidy loving talking forehead I know. The man wrestles with his hands in his pocket and only has 2 actual moves called the Beach Break and the Orange Punch. But I mean, if you really look at it, the Orange Punch is just a carbon copy of the Roman Reigns Superman Punch. So really, he's only got 1 move that's really any good, and the man wrestles with his hands in his pockets. I mean, come on, what's he really doing with his hands down there? Is he making sure they're still there?
Well, here's 2 points. And first of all, ew. Second of all, he actually does the Superman punch or the Orange Punch better than Roman Reigns because he doesn't telegraph his like Roman Reigns does. And yes, he might wrestle with his hands in his pockets, but look at the moves he does with his hands in his pockets. Maybe another guy that can do a flying head scissors with his hands in his pocket.
That's not the point. He only knows a few moves, and you know, we weren't going to do wrestling talk tonight. We were going to make this all about the promotion, but I'm so fired up about this damn orange juice that I've got to get it out. So forgive me, and AEW, if you're watching, I still love your product, and forgive me, I'm just ranting. But, you know, forgive me for that. But we're going to move on from the orange juice loving, egotistical, pompous ass Mr. Crippled Messiah. We're going to talk promotion because it makes me happy to talk promotion. You know, we thanked our new sponsor. We also told them, you know, it was awesome to have them come and do the Hall of Fame dinner for us. So moving on, we have since we have a Hall of Fame, I think Mr. Crippled Messiah forgot one thing, but our Hall of Fame's growing, and I wasn't going to add anybody else, but because this is so sudden and tragic, we would like to extend an offer to Thunder's family to come to our Hall of Fame ceremony and honor Thunder as one of our Hall of Fame class of 2023. I would like to personally do that since I did not know the man. I'm going to steal the orange juice loving freak's thunder and not let him announce that. Just because that's who I am. So let's see. We've got some new things to discuss. Oh, yes, we've got a partnership to announce. I guess your mic's muted, so we can't hear you, but that's probably a good thing.
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
We have a partnership to announce in the state of Utah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. STF Wrestling out of Salt Lake City, Utah, is going to be a talent partner, a talent swap with Inclusion Pro Wrestling. We cannot describe who the talent swap is yet because that is still in the works. But Inclusion Pro Wrestling will be sending some talent down to Utah at some time in the near future, and we will have shout outs at their show in the very near future. So let's move on a little bit more. Messiah. Never mind, you're not good enough. Man with Reason. do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, you forgot about. He also puts on sunglasses during his matches.
Oh, so we're gonna get back on this Orange Cassidy kick. Okay.
Well, I did not know this was going to be the Orange Cassidy hater podcast today.
I mean,
Our
what is with
our
the sunglasses?
apologies to Tony Khan and anybody that produces any matches for
But
Orange
no.
Cassidy. This is the views of the Heartbreaker and the Man of Reason, even though he's not talking reasonable right now.
I am
It's because
talking reasonable about this, and
it's because you're too chicken shit, Messiah, to face the truth and know that a championship reign is too damn long. I mean, come on. You hate on Roman Reigns for the same damn thing we're hating on Orange Cassidy for.
But at least Orange Cassidy defends his title every week or every other week. Unlike Roman, who was like, oh, I wrestled once, so now I'm going to be off for 3 months. But I still get to keep my title and then come back and defend it. And then I get to go leave for 3 months again.
But no, on a different topic. It is sad to hear a legend like that pass. It's always sad to hear of a legend passing away. And yes, I agree with the both of you that my heart does go out to the family.
Okay, my next point of business that we're going to put out on this show, even though we went our separate ways, we've actually mended fences with this man. So I need to give props to this man and some love. Anybody that can help this man live his dream, much like Nathan gets to live his dream. Big Money Dodge is in need of $3,000 to $3,500 for a wrestling ring. He's asking for donations. He's asking for sponsorships. So if there's anybody out there who would like to help a man like Nathan live his dream of becoming a promoter and to run a top-notch training school in the state of Washington, please give Big Money Dodge a hand. Please email him at Big Money Compound. I'm not sure what it's at, but you can find him on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's Big Money Dodge or Big Money Compound. So if you can help, please contact him and help today. Because the man really does deserve a chance. You know, I've got nothing but the utmost respect for him. But he needs any bit of help he can get. And, you know, we haven't talked about it in a while either, but Mr. Mike Martinez, his GoFundMe to bring Hansel home still needs support and still needs love.
Yes.
So if anybody in the Southern California area or anybody in our viewing audience wants to help out Mike Martinez, please give him a shout out. It's Mike Martinez on Facebook, Mike Martinez on Instagram.
Or you can look up my Facebook, which is Nathan Noss. And I have a lot of the GoFundMe and a lot of the information on my Facebook as well.
Did I ask you to talk?
No, but I did it anyway.
Orange Cassidy loving son of a bitch.
The man's talented. What can I say?
He cheats.
How does he cheat?
He interfered in a match.
Only because Wheeler Yuta interfered first.
There was no proof Wheeler Yuta interfered.
Go back and watch the match.
I did. I went back and watched it, and there was no Junta Wheeler.
Who do you think popped out from behind the minivan? It wasn't Sue.
Well, he popped out behind the minivan because Orange Cassidy came in on the minivan. He was just trying to even the odds.
Revisionist history.
But, again, we can't keep on this Orange Cassidy love triangle forever because, it's this podcast's opinion that there could be a boycott of AEW in somebody's future, too. See, even Trey agrees.
Not fair, you broke me.
So let's move on a little bit more here. We are still looking for sponsorships for our promotion. We are getting more and more people involved and interested. In fact, our booker found somebody in our local Safeway that's going to be working for us in November. That's right. He found somebody not only that's willing to work with us, that also gave us a business card for his boss to be a potential sponsor. That's right. That's what our booker can do for us. And yes, it was the same guy I was telling you about in the restaurant tonight, which, by the way, thank you again, Cold Messiah, for dinner being on the company.
You're welcome.
He's such a generous guy, especially when Orange Cassidy wins. I'd really hate to see him when Orange Cassidy loses because he's gonna have tears in his eyes.
No, I just don't know who they're gonna have beat him. I thought it was gonna be Zack Sabre Jr., but they haven't set up anything for All In yet.
We can't say anything.
Nope.
There's rumors and speculations of a match at All In, but that's all it's going to be is rumors and speculation.
But am I anywhere close?
It's rumors and speculations. I cannot get into it on this podcast. Thank you.
Neither can I. And if you try to get it out of me, I'll put the cowboy hat back on.
No,
Okay,
nobody wants to see that.
Okay, you howdy doody looking slick back fool. You went there.
Yes,
opened
I
the
did.
door again.
You went there. No. I will mute you faster than you can shit if you put it on.
Hey, at least it's not. Never mind. I'll leave that one alone.
I'd rather have you dress up like Baby Shark.
Like I
Well,
said,
it could be worse. It could be Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Ricky.
No.
no, that would probably give anybody nightmares. Besides, there's another person that can do that.
But so let's rewind a little bit here. So the Inclusion Matters Hall of Fame. We weren't going to add any more members, but Mr. Messiah kind of put his fist down and told us we're going to put one more name in. So that is the last entry, seriously, the last entry into the 2023 Hall of Fame. Because our booker went a little crazy and wants us to induct a rubber chicken, a suitcase, and a cat.
Okay, I know about the suitcase. I know about the rubber chicken, but where the hell did the cat come in?
Carl the cat.
Does that mean we have to have him fight a woman and call it a cat fight? No? Nothing?
So that's right. We're inducting a suitcase, a rubber chicken, and a feline cat. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are inducting a pussy cat into our Hall of Fame.
So does that mean instead of a plaque, all we have to do is give him catnip?
He is exclusively signed to Inclusion Pro Wrestling to do co-head commentary with Chicken Bob.
I am not playing second, third, or fourth fiddle to a cat and a rubber chicken. We're not doing a sideshow. We're not doing a vaudeville show.
And their first order as head commentators of Inclusion Pro Wrestling was to promote the Man of Reason to their assistant head commentator and kick the Crippled Messiah to color commentary.
No.
So he is now playing third fiddle behind a rubber chicken, a cat, and a baby shirk.
No.
And I've already signed their exclusive contract, so it stands.
Nope.
We'd figured you'd protest this. So they had a plan for that too.
So what's their plan?
Ladies and gentlemen, not only will our head referee be taking pies in the face at intermission, that's right, our co-owner, the Crippled Messiah, Nathan Noss, will gladly take a pie in the face for $3 a pie.
Better make it 4, because if you're going to mess up this beautiful face, I got to get more than just 3.
Carl just texted me. I'm sorry, it's 50 cents a pie for the Crippled Messiah.
Oh, see, that's way too low.
And it's 5 pies. It's five pies for $5. So for $5, you can throw 1 pie at Mikey, or for $5, you can get 5 pies and throw them at the Crippled Messiah. And all the Crippled Messiahs. Oh, hold on. That's right. Okay. And Carl says all the Crippled Messiah's pies will be colored in orange cream.
I like orange cream.
Orange cream and oranges.
Gotta get your potassium or your vitamin C somewhere.
So again, that's my rant on this. But let's go over our Hall of Fame class, shall we? Not only do we have a cat, a suitcase, and a rubber chicken. My God,
Sounds like a punchline for a bad joke.
We just inducted a sideshow. That's right, a sideshow.
And we're not talking about the wrestler sideshow either.
And I believe we're actually even inducting a wrestling ring into the Hall of Fame too. That's right. Our wrestling ring will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, this is getting weirder and weirder.
But on to the talent. We've got.
Hold on. You up there in the corner, Mr. Heartburn, and the Howdy Doody wannabe in the bottom just told me that Wheeler Yuta had nothing to do with that parking lot brawl match. I have AEW on in the background. I just saw him in a replay for that match. Care to respond?
I didn't see the replay.
I didn't see the replay, but keep watching the match and you'll understand why you're getting grilled.
You guys need glasses. If you didn't see one,
I have glasses, thank you, and I can see perfectly fine. But
well, you
anyway,
need to fix your prescription.
anyways, moving on before I was so rudely interrupted. We are honored to, again, induct Thunder into our Hall of Fame. We're honored to include our booker, our lead referee, our talent scout, one of my best friends, that's right, one of my best friends, Mr. 15,000 career matches as a referee, T-Rex. Some people, including the person to my right in the gray shirt, don't really agree with this one, but I don't care. His protege is going into what we call the celebrity wing or the Inclusion Matters wing. And that is Rex Michelson. And yes, some people don't think that he deserves it because he hasn't been in a wrestling ring that long. But you know what? Damn it, it's Inclusion Matters, and I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame. And there's nothing the man in the gray shirt can say about it.
And I didn't say anything against putting him in the Hall of Fame.
Now to the good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we are inducting Playboy Buddy Rose. We are inducting Playboy Buddy Rose's son-in-law, Buddy Highway. We are inducting the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. We are also inducting, rest his soul, Mark Dykstra.
Yep.
We're inducting Lone Star's
Yep.
wife. And we're also inducting Bulldog Bob Brown Jr. and his wife into the Hall of Fame. Along with, like I was saying, Chicken Bob, Carl, Harold, and our historic wrestling ring. Wow, that's a big class already. Okay, that's the only class members.
Still can't believe we're inducting a chicken, a suitcase, and a cat.
Oh, I forgot the catch. I forgot the cat. That's right. I forgot the cat. And of course, the host of this podcast and the co-owner, of course, the man with reason, Pat Holt. Oh, I'm sorry. The crippled Messiah, Nathan Noss.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about the fact that Rey Mysterio is the United States champion. How long do you guys think he'll hold the belt for?
It all depends.
As long as Triple H lets him.
Yep. I still think there's going to be a storyline between him and his son.
I agree with that.
Because as anyone knows, that father-son feud is far from over.
Yep.
And
Well, you know, let's let Nathan talk about something that he really wants to talk about. WWE just let a phenomenal women's talent go. They wasted her talents in the WWE. And I think my grandson actually agrees. This is the first time he's actually sat in the front room and listened to a podcast with me, so I am very honored to have my grandson join us tonight. So, Messiah, what are your thoughts on Lacey? Oh, I'm sorry, we can't call her Lacey Evans anymore. Macy, whatever her name is.
Macy. I think that, as you said, WWE completely missed the boat with her. They never knew what to do with her. The Southern Belle character was okay. I mean, she made it work and actually did a pretty good job with it. But after that, like, there was no direction. Like, they turned her into the female version of Sergeant Slaughter. And it's not that I didn't mind the fact that she used the Cobra Clutch, but I would have had her adapted to her own style of a Cobra Clutch. Like, maybe do like a Cobra Clutch giant swing. Now, where do I think she'll go? I think she would do wonders in Impact. Because outside of the people like Trinity and Deanna Purrazzo and maybe Giselle Shaw, everybody else is kind of focused on the tag team division in Impact. So I think they need like maybe one or two more like females to focus on the singles title, and I think she would be pushed up right to the top of that in Impact. Man, man of reason. You got any thoughts on that?
I could see her actually going AEW.
Possibly, but I feel like she would still get lost in AEW.
Not if Tony Khan and them does it right, and let Britt Baker guide her.
I'm not saying that wouldn't work, but could you really see Britt as strong of a personality as Lacey Evans has? You really think she would work well?
Yes, I do. I really think her and Britt can work well as a unit. Even if no one knows that Britt is working with her behind the scenes to get her where she needs to be in the ring. That is what I'm talking about.
Heartbreaker, your thoughts?
My thoughts on the old Lacey Evans, the new whoever the hell she's going to be. I used to think she was much like your friend Orange Juice. Blah, boring, and uninventive. But then again, I just realized that was WWE. Where will she end up? For some of the same reasons as Well, let's go both places. That way, I can be the voice of thought and mind provoking. AEW. Ain't gonna work because you have too many egotistical women already in AEW trying to run the show. Britt Baker, will she work with her? No. Look at what she did to Toni Storm. Look at what she did to Sheeta. As soon as they won the title, she got jealous. Impact. Like the Messiah said, I hate to admit it. And Trey agrees with me.
Sit down.
That I hate to admit this. He's absolutely right. Besides Trinity, besides Gazelle, Shaw, and besides Deanna Purrazzo, who's left in their solo women's division? Rosemary? No. The one who thinks, she's Jessica Havoc, but just a half breed of herself now because Creative's gone down the toilet. That's what happens, Scott D'Amore, when you go and you wrestle and you get hurt and you leave a person that talks to a talking sock in charge. So, as far as that is concerned, I think the more help needed, of course, is with TNA or Impact or that Thursday night show, whatever you want to call it. So that is my 2 cents. That is my 50 cents. That is my only cents, because I think if she goes to AEW, she turns into the female version of Orange Cassidy.
Although she could end up at Ring of Honor.
But that's still owned by AEW.
Yeah. But she would give Athena a run.
Baby boy. Can I get a hug? Thank you. Are these my shoes?
Or she could head overseas to Japan and be with Mercedes.
Now that's a possibility.
So, many possibilities. But, as we were saying, those are just thoughts. We weren't supposed to get on this. It was supposed to be all about inclusion tonight. But, it's kind of good that we got on this little rant. It didn't help that I watched AEW before I got on this podcast and I was put in a foul mood.
I don't see what your guys' problem was. I thought that was a clean win. People got involved, but the actual finish was clean.
He's missing the point, Tony.
He's missing the point as usual. Again, and let me reiterate this again. Orange Cassidy is a man who can wrestle phenomenally. However, I despise long title reigns. So Orange Cassidy, to me, now, officially, is no better than your tribal chief, your god, Roman Reigns.
So let's expand on that a little bit. if you don't like long title reigns, then how long do you think a title reign should be?
When you've got people that you're holding back, all Wheeler Yuta, all Danny Garcia, or here's one, all let's see here, Sammy Guevara, or let's see, maybe, I'm not gonna try to use any of the other Blackpool Combat Club because, as far as I'm concerned, Moxley, been there, done that. Claudio, been there, done that. Bryan Danielson's injured, but been there, done that. Oh, here's another guy. That's right. He's got a gorgeous wife that he loves to take home and make love to like he says on his promos. She's the ravishing Russian Lana, or in AEW, she's known as CJ. You know the man I'm talking about. I believe his name's Miro. Yeah, that's right, Miro. What about him? They're holding him back. As much as I'm going to despise saying this, they're holding back one man on Collision. And, CM Punk, yeah, you might be the real world champion, but dude, you were stripped just like the Elite. At least they had the balls and the decency to come back and give you a best of 7 series and win back their trios titles before they lost it. But enough being said about that, you are still the true world's champion because you've never been pinned or submitted in that title match. So I get your point there too. But the one that's being held back on Collision, honestly, is Ricky Starks. That man should have been a champion besides the FTW champion a long time ago. Do you realize all the other originals in TNA or in AEW have at least held that title at least once? A title. It didn't even have to be a world title, but they've held a title, a prominent title, not a title that is fuck the world title. They've held a prominent title. Ricky Starks has only held the FTW championship. And he's a much better wrestler than that.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, of course you can't disagree with that.
He is a phenomenal wrestler. I'll give him that.
And he's being held back. He could be somebody that could take Orange Cassidy's title, but they're not going to give it to him because Orange Cassidy sells for kids.
So I'm not going to go too far on this because I don't want to get on a soapbox, but let's talk about Collision for a second. And multiple places have reported this, but they could still be rumors, but I wanted to get this out. Why are they putting CM Punk in charge of Collision?
He has a creative team. And he's not on the creative team. Why does he get enough pull on Collision? Who knows? Who knows? I think maybe what you're talking about is Dolph Ziggler's brother being sent home. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, Ryan Nemeth.
Let me talk to you here. I'm sorry, Mr. LA Knight. I won't steal your catchphrase anymore. I apologize. What if they send him home because his contract's expiring and he's about to go join his brother?
I mean, that's always a possibility, but you know, um, it has come out um that him and CM Punk got into a heated argument.
Well, yeah, he's just like his brother. He called CM Punk soft.
And I don't disagree with that.
Them are fighting words in wrestling. Anybody calls another person soft, those are fighting words.
So if he does join his brother, is he gonna go by the last name Ziggler too?
It's a possibility, but
They would both have to drop down to the NXT if they're going to be a team, so his brother can get some experience.
unless they fast track him to the main roster.
But, okay, so let like you said, you don't want to put it on a soapbox. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, El Jalapeno Taqueria. And we'd also like to thank El Ranchero Mexican Restaurant in Longview, Washington. We'd also like to thank American Family Insurance, Kevin Wasson. And Messiah, I think you've got the other two.
Yep. The other two are the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And you can go home the lady that's in charge of that on Facebook, and her name's Becky Bernhardt. And Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs. And you can find him on Andy's.
Absolutely. So again, moving on, thank you to Los Jalapenos Taqueria for hosting our Hall of Fame dinner. Thank you, sponsors, for getting us ever so close to paying for the venue. So now all we got to do is just worry about the gate to pay our talent, which is exceptional. We're getting a huge talent list. We're getting some matches put together. And because we have 2 Mexican restaurants sponsoring us, we promise you at least 2 Lucha Libre style matches on the card and luchadors in the Battle Royal. That's right.
Yep.
Because to be honest, I'm all about the lucha as well.
Yep, gotta love the lucha.
So with that being said, I think we're going to cut this a little early tonight. But again, we hope to have you guys join us tomorrow night if we have our guest, Mr. Mike Orlando.
No.
Or is it not Orlando?
No, it's Corey
Oh,
Dillinger.
that's right. It's Corey Dillinger. And so he'll be our Thursday night guest. We're supposed to have a guest on Friday, but if not, we'll just wing it and see what happens. Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, is Cameron Starr.
Very much looking forward to that one.
And that is our next three podcasts or so. And we're looking forward to Sunday the 27th to our 150th episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about having big episodes before and big guests before, but by far this is the biggest guest, literally, I think we've ever had on this podcast.
Yes, I believe so.
Mr. Congo Kong. Who I still can't believe accepted to be on our podcast.
I know.
So, again, yay. 150, we finally get a big guest. So, Mr. Crippled Messiah, we need to probably start working on filling our October, November, and December schedule. So we need to try to get the Country Gentleman back on our podcast.
I'll work on that.
You should. And
Alright.
sometime later in October, we have one half of Fist to Cuffs.
Nice.
And I'm working on getting both halves of Fist to Cuffs to come on.
Absolutely.
So until we see you again, for the man of reason, for the man who remains nameless because he loves the orange juice loving Orange Cassidy, I am the top guy, and I'm out.
Good night, everybody.